This is another book written by Jerome Jones that he sent to me from his own personal collection. He sent me 3 books. I've already read the first book, which is The Mystery of the Lost Recipe. If you haven't heard me read that yet, you can check the description box for the link to that video, or you can check out the new and upcoming authors playlist and find it there. Hi, it's Desiree. My goal is to bring more books into your homes, from my bookshelf to yours. The Mystery of the Lost Uniforms. It's been a fun but long week, Abby said to her parents. Abby just returned from summer camp the night before, and her parents decided to have one last barbecue dinner before school would start the following week. Tommy looked at Abby and said, "I hope we can pick up another case before we go back to school." Mom said, "That would be great to help more friends in town." "Dinner is ready and it tastes so good," said Dad, while eating a piece of chicken near the grill. The family sat at the patio table with their adopted dog, Flash. Tommy gave him that name because he was one fast beagle. Just before they finished dinner, the phone rang. Abby got up with excitement and ran inside to pick up the phone. Tommy said in a joking tone, "Maybe it's your summer camp boyfriend." Abby looked at Tommy and rolled her eyes at him. She had a long conversation with the person on the phone, looking at her brother the whole time, smiling. "Who is on the phone?" Mom asked. Abby explained to her family. "It was DJ Dale from 95.1 The Wave. He heard about Tommy and me helping Mr. Nutt at the Orange Surf Restaurant last month. He wants to interview us on his morning radio show tomorrow." Tommy said with excitement, "This is awesome! I've always wanted to be on the radio." Even Flash barked with excitement. "Let's celebrate," Dad said. "I'll make some homemade ice cream." So the family finished up dinner and ate some homemade ice cream while watching the sun set over the beautiful ocean. The next morning, Abby and Tommy woke up bright and early while their parents made them a healthy, delicious breakfast. Each child had 3 pieces of French toast with banana and, of course, a glass of orange juice. Abby and Tommy thanked their parents and ran out the door. The children grabbed their mystery-solving supplies, jumped on their bikes, buckled their helmets, and headed down to the radio station. Their parents called out, "We'll be listening," as Tommy and Abby turned out the driveway. The children rode their bikes down to the beach boardwalk while watching the surfers catch waves in the distance. Tommy asked Abby, "What type of questions do you think DJ Dale will ask us?" "Probably about how we solved the lost recipe case," Abby responded in a cheerful voice. "Maybe we'll get a second case before lunch by doing this interview." Tommy smiled and said, "I hope so." "I'm so excited to be on the radio." Abby and Tommy arrived at the station and met with DJ Dale in the 95.1 The Wave studio. The children were amazed with all of the items stuffed in the small space. There were microphones, computers, and speakers all over the desk. DJ Dale said, "Sit down. I have a glass of water for both of you. We'll start the interview in the next few minutes." "Thank you for having us this morning," said Abby. "We're both very excited." Tommy was nervous but excited at the same time and said, "Hey DJ Dale, do you think someday I could be a radio DJ?" DJ Dale smiled and responded, "Of course. Are you guys ready? We go live on air in 30 seconds. DJ Dale asked Abby and Tommy all about how they found Mr. Nutt's lost recipe in their first mystery case at the Orange Surf Restaurant. Then DJ Dale had a great idea. "Hey kids, can we open up the phone lines and have the community ask you questions?" asked DJ Dale. "Sure, that sounds fun," says Abby. Tommy agreed. "Let's do it." "You're listening to 95.1 The Wave. What's your name, caller?" DJ Dale asked with an energetic tone. "Hi, this is Coach Hill from Pismo High School." DJ Dale responded, "Very cool. We have the girls' high school basketball coach on the line. What would you like to ask Abby and Tommy?" "I have a mystery and I think I need Abby and Tommy's help. Can you two help me?" Coach Hill asked in a hopeful voice. "Of course, Coach. We can solve your case," Abby and Tommy said together in an animated tone. "Well, it looks like Abby and Tommy will be working on their next mystery case this week," said DJ Dale. 95.1 The Wave will keep the community up to date on their progress, so stay tuned. Abby said with a smile, "Thanks again for letting us come on your morning show. Tommy and I need to go meet Coach Hill at the high school now, but can we come back after we solve the mystery?" DJ Dale said in a joyful tone, "Of course, looking forward to it." Tommy gave DJ Dale a high five and said, "Thanks." Tommy and Abby left the station, jumped on their bikes, and rode down to Pismo High School. They waved to DJ Dale while they rode away. On their ride, Tommy turned to Abby and said, "Let's make sure we eat lunch after meeting with Coach Hill. We had an early breakfast." "Great idea, Tommy," Abby said with a smile. "That's why you're my favorite brother." Tommy laughed. "Well, I'm your only brother." The siblings arrived downtown at the high school, and Abby stated, "Look, there's Coach Hill in front of the gym." Abby and Tommy locked up their bikes and walked into the gym with Coach Hill to discuss his case. The Pismo High School gym was beautiful. It had the school's mascot painted in the center of the basketball court. Tommy and Abby looked at each other, gave each other a high five, and said in a loud voice, "This is awesome." Coach Hill smiled back to them and said, "I would agree, the gym here is awesome, but nothing would be possible without our great fans." "Tommy and Abby, let's go sit down in my office. We'll discuss the mystery of the lost uniforms and see if you two can help me find them before our back-to-school basketball jam next week," said Coach Hill. The back-to-school jam, Coach Hill continued, is a friendly scrimmage with the whole team being introduced to the local community. I also talked to the crowd at halftime about the upcoming season. I wanted to speak with some community members before the game, but it's been hard because my office phone hasn't been working the past week. It's supposed to be fixed before school starts next week. They discussed where Coach Hill might have misplaced the uniforms after the summer basketball league was over. Abby asked Coach some detailed questions, and Tommy listened carefully while they both wrote down the important information throughout the conversation. After they were finished, Abby said, "Thank you, Coach, for all the detailed information. We'll review our notes over lunch and try to solve this case." Coach Hill responded, "Thank you for coming by on such short notice. I have practice this afternoon. If you have any more questions, please come by." "No problem, Coach. Keep planning the back-to-school basketball jam, and we'll solve the case, I promise," stated Tommy with a smile, shaking Coach Hill's hand. Tommy asked Abby while walking out of the gym, "Where should we eat lunch?" "Let's go to the Orange Surf restaurant," Abby responded. "Let's see what specials they have today." "Great idea. We can say hi to Mr. Nutt too," Tommy said. After a quick ride to the restaurant, they walked in and Mr. Nutt was there to greet them. "Well, look who it is. How have you two been?" Mr. Nutt asked with a big smile on his face. "Hello, Mr. Nutt," Abby and Tommy said with excitement. "Can we sit at our favorite table by the window?" asked Tommy. "Of course. So, what brings you two back to the restaurant?" "Are you on another case?" Mr. Nutt inquired. "Yep," Abby said. "We're helping Coach Hill find the lost basketball uniforms before the back-to-school basketball jam. But we need a nutritious lunch before we go over our notes." "Coach Hill?" asked a surprised Mr. Nutt. "We have his high school basketball banquet here every year." "So you know who he is?" Abby asked. "Of course," Mr. Nutt responded. "He's one great coach, but more importantly, a great person. He enjoys helping his players and students year after year. It looks like you two mystery solvers have a lot of notes to look over for this case. But first, what could I get you two for lunch?" Abby ordered a clam chowder bread bowl, which was the special of the day, a side of fruit, and of course a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. Tommy ordered the famous lasagna, which comes with salad and bread, and, of course, a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. Mr. Nutt said, "Great choices. We'll have that out to you in the next 10 minutes. While eating their lunch, they discussed the case. Coach Hill said his team played the summer league basketball games at the local junior college. After the league was over, his team dropped off their uniforms at the cleaners in town to get them ready for the upcoming season. But Coach Hill couldn't remember which cleaners it was. Abby made a timeline of the important features and facts about the case on her laptop, while Tommy researched some facts about the basketball summer league and local cleaners that specialized in uniforms. "How's the mystery coming along? Any leads?" Mr. Nutt asked the children. Tommy explained, "We're trying to locate cleaners in town that specialize in uniforms." Abby chimed in, We're trying to save time and only bike to the most important cleaners in town. Would you know of any specialized sports cleaners?" "Let me think," Mr. Nutt responded with his fingers touching his hair. "There were a few in town that I know of, but try the shop 2 blocks down the street called Sport and Fresh Cleaners. Their service is top-notch." "Thanks, Mr. Nutt," Abby said in excitement. "We hope Sport and Fresh Cleaners will be the lucky shop with Coach Hill's basketball team uniforms." Abby and Tommy paid for lunch, thanked Mr. Nutt for the advice, walked out of the restaurant, hopped on their bikes, and rode down to Sport and Fresh Cleaners. The 2 mystery solvers walked into Sport and Fresh Cleaners and saw many uniforms on the racks while smelling the fresh odors throughout the shop. "Hi, I'm Stephanie. How can I help you two?" asked the owner. Abby responded, "Hi, Stephanie. My name's Abby, and this is my brother Tommy. We are trying to find Coach Hill's lost basketball uniforms." "You are in luck," said Stephanie. "We are finishing them today and the uniforms will be done tomorrow. My husband and I were on summer vacation last week and just got back a few days ago to finish up the orders before school started. We couldn't get a hold of Coach because his office phone didn't work. I'm so glad you two came in today." "What a relief," said Tommy. "We're so glad we found the lost basketball uniforms, and they'll be ready for Coach Hill's back-to-school basketball jam." Abby looked at Stephanie and said, "We'll let Coach Hill know the uniforms will be delivered to his office tomorrow afternoon." Tommy and Abby gave each other a high five and walked out of the shop smiling. "What time is it, Tommy?" asked Abby. Do you think Coach Hill will still be in his office this late in the afternoon?" Tommy responded, "He said he was going to have practice this afternoon. Let's ride back to the high school and see if he's still practicing with his team to tell him the great news." Tommy and Abby rode back to Pismo High School and made it back before practice was over. They walked into the gym and watched the end of practice. "Hey, Coach Hill, how did practice go?" asked Tommy. Coach Hill said, "It was a long practice, but it went very well." "Coach, we have some great news," said Abby with a big smile. We found your lost basketball uniforms this afternoon. They will be delivered tomorrow to your office." "Really?" Coach Hill exclaimed. Thank you. Where did you find them?" Abby explained, "They were getting cleaned at Sport and Fresh Cleaners." Coach Hill smiled and said, "You two are the best mystery solvers in town. I want you two to be at the back-to-school basketball jam event and sit with the team." Tommy was thrilled. "I'm speechless, Coach Hill, for this great honor. We will be there for sure. Thank you," said Abby. They rode back home during the beautiful, colorful beach sunset to tell their parents about their great mystery-solving day and to eat family dinner before bedtime. Friday of the following week, Tommy and Abby got called back to the radio station, 95.1 The Wave, to tell the story of the mystery of the lost uniforms and to promote the back-to-school basketball jam. "Welcome back to the studio," said DJ Dell while giving them high fives. Abby said, "Thanks, we're thrilled to be back." "Let's promote this back-to-school basketball jam to the town," said DJ Dell. "Are you two ready?" Tommy and Abby smiled and said together, "Of course, let's do it." That night, Tommy and Abby walked into the gym at Pismo High School, and they couldn't believe how many people were there to support Coach Hill's team. "Hey, you two made it," said Coach Hill. "I'm glad you're here. You two will be sitting with the team on the bench during the game." "Very cool, thank you," said Tommy with a big smile. Coach Hill explained, "During halftime, we want to thank both of you for finding the team's lost uniforms, and we have something for you too." "Wow, thank you," said Abby. During halftime, Coach Hill thanked Tommy and Abby in front of the crowd of over 1,000 fans. They both got signed basketballs with the team signatures and free home game tickets for the whole season. The two mystery solvers were excited and overjoyed. They waved at the crowd and thanked everyone for their love and support. After the game was over, Tommy and Abby thanked the players and coaches that made them feel welcome during the game. Tommy said to Coach Hill, "We will see you during basketball season at the home game." Coach Hill responded, "Come anytime." Abby said, "We sure will, thank you." "I wonder what type of mystery we will solve next," Tommy said to Abby while they rode away from the school. This was a fun adventure. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for visiting. From my bookshelf to yours.